Hey guys, what is up? 2018 passed a while ago. Like it ended a month ago. I originally said I was going to get my list of the best and worst out by the end of the month of January, but instead I was lazy. But I said, you know what? Screw it. There's not enough more to add to my list. My worst, I wish I wanted to, but let's just get this done because I'm already well past my due date to people. I just need to get this done. So I'm going to start off with my worst. Because why would I start off with my best? At first I make you happy, then I make you sad. Right instead I make you sad and then happy because then, okay, this is just shit. Now I feel sad because of all the worst choices. Yay, he has all these best choices, now I feel happy now. You get the point. Let's just get to it. Now the way I categorized this list, I actually categorized it because I didn't really do a top 10 or anything like that. Maybe I'll do in the future, I don't know, but not now. It's not worth it. I'm already past my due date, like I said. I have it for most disappointing / overhyped, and I guess I'll include / didn't live up to expectations, although that's kind of the same thing, worst and mediocre. So let's start off with my most disappointing / overhyped / didn't live up to expectations. Originally, didn't live up to expectations was like a separate category in of itself, but I decided, you know what, it's not, that's stupid. It's just the same thing as disappointing and overhyped. So let's get to it. Let's start with it. First is Entourage. I have seen like the only full season of the show I've watched is the first season, and to be honest, this movie's more of an extended episode that's really just more for fans. It's nothing really that great. I guess I was kind of excited for it because number one, you have the characters back, the creators writing it, but let's just be truth here. This is based on a TV show, and like there's no reason this could have failed because number one, the cast is fun, but here's the thing. I guess you know what works in one medium doesn't work in the other. Sometimes it does. But I wouldn't say this is one of the better examples of it. It's actually probably one of the worst examples. I mean, even though it has solid production values and the cast is fine, and I do like Jeremy Piven as Ari, it's just more of an extended episode of the show. And while it's not really, and while I wouldn't say technically it's padding out, when you say it's like padding out the runtime in a way, maybe. It's not terrible, but you know, it's not easy like the characters. They're douchebags. Could you say they're likable douchebags? Oh, definitely. But if you're not familiar with the show, you're probably not gonna like it as much as like some people did. I think it's fine. I think I give it like a 3 out of 5. Though maybe like a 2.5 out of 5 is probably maybe also, I guess. I don't think that's like an overreaction. It's just not that good. It's just more of an extended episode than anything else. It's far from terrible, but it's not really what I call a great film. Next one, Chappie. I'll tell you one thing. I've only seen okay, sure. I haven't seen Elysium. I heard some good things about it, I've heard mixed things about it. But I'll tell you one thing. This is pretty disappointing for Neil Blomkamp. I love District 9. It's a very entertaining sci-fi film with a cool mockumentary style. It feels real. Excellent special effects for a $30 million budget. Jesus Christ. And some of these big budget films don't even have the best CGI. That's just bizarre. How the hell does that make any sense? And also it has a great story. Very thought-provoking story. Great performances. I mean, it was a great debut. It really was big. Thank God for that, because it's a great film. This, however, is a disappointment. Not only is the marketing campaign misleading for this thing, but also, it just doesn't work for itself. The biggest problem I have with the film is really just most of the characters. Most of them are douchebags. Like, damn it, I don't remember the name of the band that was in the film. Basically, they're playing themselves, I guess? I don't know. They were just not likable. Most of the characters in the film were not likable. Hugh Jackman wasn't likable. The gangsters weren't likable. Chappie was actually being raised to be a gangster, and I swear it didn't work. Special effects work is great, and there's an interesting concept there, but overall it just falls flat. It just doesn't really work here. It just doesn't have that same feel. Also, that robot that Hugh Jackman was trying to produce, it's just an exact copy of Ed 209 from RoboCop with a camo paint job. Sure, you can say it's more modernized, and of course, you know, it looks more like an actual robot compared to the original. But let's just be honest. Let's talk about the times of the design, the look of it. It looks like Ed 209. It's not terrible, but it really is disappointing. I think it's an okay film, really, but there are some good action here. But really, there's just no weight to the story. There is something here, but it just doesn't come. But it just never really seems to express it. I guess I don't know if that makes sense. It just never really seems to achieve what it's striving for. Like, its reach far exceeds its grasp. That's the thing. It was very disappointing. Most of the characters were unlikable. Some were pretty annoying. And overall, this is just a wasted opportunity. Very sad. But hopefully Blomkamp could think of something better. Really hope so. Let's hope he's not one-hit wonder like M. Night Shyamalan is, I guess. I don't know. Or, I don't know, people. I'm just trying to... That was forced. I didn't see a visit. Next one is Tomorrowland. This is one I was actually very excited for because, number one, I love Brad Bird. I love The Incredibles, Ratatouille. I really like Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Is it my favorite in the franchise? I don't know. But here's the thing about this. This is a film with so much potential and also a more original concept. But unfortunately, it's just wasted. That's all it ever is. Yeah, this paper's gonna be torn out of here. Yep, it is. This is just a wasted opportunity. The first two acts weren't too bad, but I won't deny the film has a lot of exposition with not a lot of dialogue. I mean, with not enough visuals to help that. They could work. Exposition's a little bit too much. The opening wasn't the best. It was probably it was a bit weak. I didn't mind it too much, but it was a little bit weak. It was worth noting. It wasn't like, oh my god, it's atrocious. There's something there, but it just never really. It just doesn't come to. It just never fully expresses itself. I guess I can't think of all these terms, people. It's really hard for me to understand what I'm trying to say here. But I think the worst part of it comes in the third act. The third act, I think, is where it kind of went a little apart. Because all this lighthearted whimsicality and adventure was kind of tossed down for something a bit more... This change in tone just didn't really work for me completely. This villain's just thrown in there. Hugh Laurie is just weak as hell. And to be honest, it's not as satisfying as it could have been. This film really did disappoint me. I thought it was slightly more good than bad, though I swear I keep edging closer to a 2.5 out of 5. Just get to 3 out of 5, people. It has great visual effects, a unique concept, and the cast is good, but I won't deny it really does need some more. It needs some work on the script. It became preachy with an environmental message at the end, near the third act, and also I think it just wrapped up way too nicely. I can understand what they're going for, but the problem is it feels a bit shoehorned in. There's just no real build up to it, and it just never is that satisfying. The payoff overall is just not that satisfying. That does make me very sad because there is something here. It could have been so much greater. It could have been, who knows, it could have been a standout. There is something, it's imaginative from a visual standpoint, but in terms of all this other stuff, it really just doesn't nail it. It was probably the biggest disappointment of 2015 in my opinion. It really let me down. I can't believe it. Brad Bird had such a great streak, but hey, what's up with The Incredibles 2, puts him back on a high streak. I know I'm over-obsessing over this, but it did disappoint. I can't believe that. Oh well, let's move on. Next one, Spectre. I love Skyfall, I love Casino Royale. This is just disappointing. Skyfall sets such huge, high standards for the franchise, especially when you have, you have such a hell of an opening, one of the best, probably my favorite Bond theme song to date, Adele Skyfall, beautiful as hell, beautiful vocals. 25. Her song "Hello" was just all over the place. This is 2015, but whatever. This was just disappointing. Could it have been a standout? Maybe. But if there's anything else to say, it could have been much better than this. It felt more formulaic. It just never. The villain was disappointing, and there's also this subplot involving replacing dismantling the 0000 program, replacing it with surveillance drones. It just didn't have enough meaning to it as they thought it would. And overall, the film just doesn't feel that strong. It really just doesn't have a lot of the emotion, and a lot of the story is just weaker compared to it. Is it terrible? Oh no, far from it. Great action scenes, great cinematography, good performances from Léa Seydoux, Dave Bautista, Christoph Waltz, Daniel Craig, Ralph Fiennes. No one in the cast is bad. It's a solid film, but it was a bit disappointing. You get good action spectacle, that's all you ever get. The story, the substance is kind of there. It's a bit weak. It's more style over substance. Almost no denying you get a lot of great entertaining spectacle. It just doesn't hit home like Skyfall did or Casino Royale. It's fine. It's not what I call a bad Bond film. It's just it's a bit underwhelming, I guess. Sam Smith's theme song, Writings on the Wall. Yeah, why did that win the Golden Globe? It should have been See You Again. I don't think the song's terrible, but his falsetto just doesn't really work, and it doesn't feel like a Bond theme. I guess the opening sequence is kind of cool, but the theme song just doesn't really fit. I don't know what to say. It was a little disappointing, though it could have been worse. Next one, the last one in this category, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. The series was doing so good. I really liked the first one, even though the shaky cam's too much, and of course, Josh Hutcherson's a bit underused. But the second one really picked it up, giving us new characters, expanding on, fixing most of the flaws of the first one, and overall proving that this franchise has a lot to offer. And it's not just another young adult franchise trying to copy the success of Twilight. They're just crappy films and they're huge moneymakers. Here, they're quality films and make lots of money because not only is it popular, but also it has a true fan following that really respect that. It also appeals to general audiences. It does disappoint me that, with Mockingjay being split into two films, which was the dumbest movie they made, Mockingjay Part 1 being very uneventful and being rather kind of boring, I guess. It wasn't bad, it was fine, but it really was such a low point in the franchise. This one's a slight step up, but it's not as satisfying a finale as it could have been, which does disappoint me because there's so much here. There's some story. There's some changes, with Julianne Moore, like that twist, I guess it's a twist with her. Didn't always work for me, and the ending, I guess, took a little long. Some people say it was like, oh my god, it's like Return of the King, that it took so long to end, even though Return of the King is a fantastic movie, and also the endings are satisfying. I wouldn't say it's that long. It's fine. It's a solid movie. But it really could have been much better. It really just disappointing that this is the end of the franchise. But one thing for sure is, it's far from bad. Let's just agree on that. It's far from a bad movie. It's a good movie. But it really could have been much greater. It really could have been. God damn it. Let's get to mediocre. I don't know why I put this on here. No Escape. Yeah. It's a thriller that I know just jumps right into the action. But overall, it's pretty thin of a movie. Pierce Brosnan I found pretty underused, and while Owen Wilson and Lake Bell are fine, the kids, I guess, are fine, even though this one kid did do something stupid that made them get chased at by the fucking foreigners, I guess. The foreigners are very one-dimensional. They just get chased by them because the kid screams, oh my god, you dropped your teddy bear. Hey kid. You're about to be killed by people. Who cares about your fucking teddy bear? Leave it to be shot at for some reason. I don't know. Just leave it, man. It has no feelings. It's a fucking stuffed animal. You're a human being. You feel pain. So forget that shit. I mean this literally. Also, some of the action was a bit too much shaky cam-esque. Some of the special effects when they used them. There was one point of a falling balcony or something like that, like a falling structure. I don't know what to call it. I'm not that good, man. Like something just, like a structure that falls, it just, it just crumbles to the ground, falls to the ground. It was obvious CGI. Some of the action is pretty intense, I won't deny, but I mean, and sometimes it's not afraid to go unrelenting, but overall, I just really wasn't that impacted by it because, number one, even though it's good, it jumps straight into the action and it doesn't waste a lot of time saying the characters. The characters are just so basic. There's not a lot to know about them, and overall, it's just fine. It's just meh. If you liked it, good for you. Happy for you. But for me though, it was just eh. Pierce Brosnan I did find enjoyable for what he was on screen, but he was underused. And also it gets kind of stupid at times, I guess. But I mean, they really could have tried much harder. I guess, it could have probably worked with a bit of a stronger story, maybe with a bit more time for setup. Because this one was just too basic and kind of got too much into the action. And I'm fine with that as long as you give enough setup to the characters. Care about them. I guess you do care about them, but for me though, I just thought the film was overall okay. It just didn't completely work for me. Sorry. It's far from terrible, but I mean, it's just worth knowing I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Now let's get to my worst. Fuck me. Alright, let's start off with Vacation. Did anyone behind this see the original Vacation? Yes, the original Vacation's rated R, but it was never raunchy. There was only curse words, a dialogue scene that said that, the dog pissed on the food that the Griswolds were eating, that Clark was eating. Clark was eating a sandwich. Was eating a sandwich. In one scene, I'm trying to talk to that, flirting with them, trying to get the attention of that model that keeps following them. It does have a... Yeah, and also the dog was killed, but they only talked about it. They never showed it. This movie is absolutely disgusting. It's very mean-spirited without any real justification for it. It's not even funny. Mean-spirited humor can be funny, people. Nothing's off limits for comedy, but this is just inexcusable. The humor is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. The scene in that fucking sewage made me sick as all hell. I called out a scene where a car exploded. Where that car exploded. That was obvious. I called that shit out. And I don't really care to. Also, that little kid. What a piece of shit. I wish he died in that explosion. I'm not even joking. Eliminate him from this earth. He's a menace to us all. He really is. He was an asshole. He was annoying to me. And the movie just really wasn't that funny. I laughed and chuckled a couple times, but that's it. Even the funniest jokes, they just drag out. Like that Chinese or Korean guy, I don't know, like that foreign voice for the GPS voice, just keeps yelling all the time. Sometimes it's kind of funny, but the thing is, you reuse it all the time, that it kind of starts drying out. It's way too raunchy, it gets way too over the top and mean-spirited, it just lacks the charm of the original Vacation, and overall just doesn't work. It's just more mean-spirited than anything else, and more raunchy, and that's the problem. The film was never like that. It was fun, it was lighthearted, even when it got ridiculous and over the top, or even sometimes like pretty damn, goes pretty far with its humor, it still maintained a sense of fun. Also, you just don't buy the family as a family, because I swear to God, they are so... They're really just a dysfunctional family, they're just divided. I can really see them seeing distant from each other, like never being happy at all. The little kid, why couldn't they abort that person? I couldn't believe that. Jesus fuck. I know I went pretty far with that, but I swear to God, if you ever see this movie, you hate the kid. The Smeghead hated that kid. So did Austin Putnam. I hate almost... Ugh, fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. I hate it more and more as I talk about it. I hate it more and more. I hate it more now. Fuck! I didn't have a great experience within the theater. It's outrageously disgusting, and I really feel like, God, why? This was not necessary. Just stop. This is a comedy film that fails. I didn't really laugh, and I was disappointed. Piece of shit. Let it die. That's just the beginning, people. We have more to go to. Next one, Daddy's Home. This is just a lame comedy. It has the same things. It's mean-spirited for the sake of it. Most of the characters in this film are unlikable. You hate the kids. I found the kids annoying because all they did was they kept screaming and treating Will Ferrell like shit even though he didn't do anything to them. They hate him because, oh, he's a stepdad. That's all the joke really is, and they just treat him poorly. I mean, god damn it. Will Ferrell tries to be nice to them, but swear, Jesus Christ. Mark Wahlberg is basically just a cool guy who really doesn't know anything about responsibility. Linda Cardellini, she's kind of a basic wife. She really has nothing much to do. It's really just more Ferrell and Wahlberg. But even that doesn't work here. There's also a guy, I forgot his name, he plays this character named Griff, who basically stays at you know, like Will Ferrell's house. And I guess it's kind of funny, but he has no purpose. And Thomas Hayden Church, he's a guy who has some laughs, but overall, just like most of the character, he's pretty much kind of an asshole to Brad. Will Ferrell plays a guy called Brad, and they just most people treat him like shit. His boss treats him like shit. Dusty, Mark Wahlberg, treats him like shit. Sometimes he gets him, and most of it just feels undeserved. For what reason? Some of it is justified, but for the most part, I found it just unnecessarily mean-spirited and just not that funny. I wasn't really laughing at all. I kind of was just annoyed at points with the kids. God, take their mouth shut, please. I couldn't stand them. I couldn't believe what the hell I was watching sometimes, because I swear, this was annoying me. It was so annoying me. There were some laughs here and there. Most of the funny stuff was in the trailer. Yes, that's the unfortunate truth. At least it's not disgusting like Vacation was, though I still think it absolutely sucks. I think it's slightly better than Vacation, because Vacation's more disgusting, more mean, and just, I hate that kid so much. I want him to die. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue on. Fuck me. Next three will piss you off. 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, I saw this. I didn't see this in theaters, thank God. I saw it on HBO. And my God, this was such a boring movie and so fucking stupid. From what I heard, this doesn't portray BDSM right. People in the BDSM community are offended at the movie and this book and the book. The book is just... I only read through one page, and the one line that stands out to me the most: I have been volunteered. That does not make sense. I have been volunteered. I have been asked, or I have volunteered to replace whatever Anastasia's roommate's name is, position. Or, okay, that sounded terrible, but it makes much more sense. It's only one page, people. I couldn't care. I didn't care at all about the book, so why would I continue reading it? I don't care if you're going to make the excuse that I'm in the target audience. That should never be like the Smeghead said, that shouldn't be an indicator of quality. It never should be. That's just a dumb excuse. Stop doing that. It's not. That doesn't excuse... That, like I said, it's just an excuse. It doesn't make up for watching a piece of crap. 50 Shades of Grey is a crappy movie. It's well made and well shot, and I guess it's a good soundtrack, but overall, this film is just boring. It's so fucking boring. The relationship, you can't buy it for even a second. It's just so creepy. It's disgusting. It's not a healthy relationship at all. This guy stalks Anastasia. He pops into her workplace. He lives in Seattle, and from what I heard from the Smeghead, like he did a review of this, she works at a horror store in Portland. How fucking creepy is that? He breaks into her new apartment to have sex with her. Oh my God, what a fucking creep! Oh, even stalked her across the country. You gotta be fucking joking. This guy's not what I call controlling. He's just a dick. I think there's a difference between being a dominant and being an asshole. He sells her car without telling her. Wow. He just doesn't care about Anastasia at all if he's gonna treat her like this. Basically just spoiling her ass. Like she's his daughter or something like that. And the sex. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I don't think a lot of people have said this. It's tame. Guys, if you want more risque stuff, watch Wolf of Wall Street or Californication. You'll get a lot more there. I mean this literally, people. That's just pathetic to me. This is a piece of shit. This movie is stupid. The Anastasia Steele, why the hell is that a name? The dialogue is god-awful. I'm going to do a review on this, people. It's not the worst film 2015, though. Why? Because it's well made and well shot. That's the only reason why. And Dakota Johnson is trying. That's it. I've seen 2 worse films, people, and I think they're actually tied for my worst of the year. Wow, I finally got mad for once. Rather than just being robotic or just being solo energy. Although it is better than the last times I was so sick. I'm just tired as hell. Yeah. Here's the thing about this though. 50 Shades of Grey has a bad relationship. She's such a weak female. Anastasia Steele has an awful name, and she's such a weak female character. She has a porn star name, for fuck's sake. It's just a bad, very, very bad movie. Just please don't watch it. Don't support these movies. They're not worth it. They're amateur films with good production values. Amateur, poorly written, poorly acted films. Jamie Dornan is so robotic. You can't buy a relationship. There's no chemistry. They are so dry. You know what I mean by that. Oh God, they're so stupid. They're so fucking... You don't believe it at all. Just fuck this. No more people, and that cliffhanger is pointless because she's gonna go back to this go back to this dick in the 2 sequels. What's the point of that cliffhanger? Nothing. This is an obvious sequel set. That's how late. I think we have to blame E.L. James for this because she had a lot of creative control. But you know what? It's not worth it. I'm gonna get to my review. I'm already throwing out some of the best stuff here, people, without going into detail about it. But let's continue on. Next one. I'm gonna tie these both. I think it's actually an actual tie for #1 worst film of the year. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 and Ridiculous 6. Fuck you, Happy Madison. Fuck you. I had to sit through 2 movies. 2 shitty movies this year. Yeah, fucking great. Fucking great, Happy Madison, yeah. Fuck you. Palmer Mall Cop 2 and Ridiculous 6 have now entered my list of the worst comedy, of some of the worst comedies I've ever seen in my life. And I don't watch a lot of bad comedies, so that says something. My God, they are complete how to not make comedies. Palmer Mall Cop 2 is a film that basically wastes its time making a character that was somewhat likable, even though he was kind of a loser in the first movie, and he makes him a fat, pathetic loser who's also pretty much a controlling asshole. Most of the characters in Palmer Mall Cop 2 are also just complete assholes or morons. How does this hot chick fall for this loser, even if you take out his looks, what exactly is good about him? No, he's just pretty much a guy who says he knows everything, and he's so paranoid, overprotective. I mean, my God, this guy's such a fucking mess. No wonder he lives with his mom. I don't care about making fun of this guy. I don't care. I love making fun of people. You know what I mean? I just love making fun of stuff that I think is bad. Or anything like, you know what I mean? It's not worth overcomplicating this. This movie absolutely sucks. That crane fight, what the hell was that? That scene is so stupid. I couldn't believe that's an actual scene. Oh, and I was actually in a packed theater. People were laughing at this. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? This is someone people can make in their goddamn house. For no budget. And even then it wouldn't be funny. Because it's stupid. This is a $30 million movie. And it's just cheap as hell. It looks like shit. Ugh. The comedy is god-awful. I don't think I laughed once in this movie. It's boring as hell. I wanted it to end, and when it got up, I walked out of the theater. I didn't walk out during it. Once it was done, when the credits started rolling, I just walked out of the theater. I don't care if... Fuck this. I don't care if this guy's a nice guy, if Adam Sandler's a nice guy. He was one of the producers on this film. This is a piece of shit. To be honest, the only thing I've seen I like Kevin James in, really, I guess maybe Here Comes a Boom, but really like King of Queens. That guy got nominated for an Emmy for that show. And yet... This guy, you know when King of Queens ended? Wait, 2007, right? Oh my God, you gotta be joking me. 9 years, almost 9 years ago. Oh my God. That is pathetic. So basically this guy has nothing of merit to add to his film career, except maybe Here Comes a Boom, but that's really more of a Rocky ripoff in a way. Or just an average boxing film, I guess. If there's anything to say about it, this film sucks. The humor is awful. There's nothing I found funny at all. It basically tries to... It's just lazy. It's a lazy comedy with nothing funny to offer. And overall, it's just a waste of time. Fuck this movie. Fuck you, Happy Madison. Fuck you, Adam Sandler, for producing this. Fuck everyone involved. Oh, yeah. And let me get to Ridiculous 6. Another pure piece of garbage. In case of you did not read my comment I put in my Ridiculous 6 review, the rating now changed to a fucking 0 out of 5. That's right. It went from originally was going to be a 1 out of 5, then it came to a 0.5, and now it's a fucking 0. So you gotta understand the point. This movie sucks. It absolutely sucks. The main reason why is because it's just a lazy comedy that supposedly, some people are trying to pass off as satire, when I swear to God, this is one of the worst examples of satire I've ever seen. People are going to be comparing this, negatively comparing this to Blazing Saddles as we know it. Blazing Saddles is a classic. Sure, it's silly, but at least it had clever satire, it had good satire, also, it was funny. This movie was not funny at all. I don't think I only chuckled maybe sometimes. But really, you don't get any laughs out of here. Also, the chuckles were kind of forced because it's so fucking stupid. And it forces a laugh out of you and it's not earned. Oh my God. And this movie is almost 2 hours and it's slow. It's boring. It has no pace and there's nothing. The cast is wasted. Who cares about this ensemble? This is actually an ensemble cast of people. John Turturro's one of them. What the hell happened to that guy? And Sandler, why? It's like, when you look at him and you look at how bored he is on screen, he doesn't really smile at all on the camera. It's like he hates himself or he just hates being from the camera. Then why are you still doing it? Just stop doing it then. God. You understand my frustration, people. This is just stupid. This is inexcusably stupid. And when I heard the budget was $60 million, oh my God, that is... Ugh. Fuck. $60 million. You gotta be fucking joking. It's more the stuff that isn't really this movie that makes me angry. Because I swear to God, I'm already tired, so that equals... So when you combine that with crappy movies, that's just a horrible combination that makes me want to have a freaking outburst. Ugh, fuck me, dude. Fuck. I can't stress this enough how much I'm pissed off at the fact this is an actual movie that was made. And it cost a lot of money to make it, even though I swear you could have made this for probably like a third or maybe like half the fucking budget. Even then it wouldn't be worthy of that. Seriously, my God. Also, this movie just pads out the running time. It started really dragging at the 20, when there was like 20-25 minutes left. And also, that baseball scene. Why was that baseball scene in the movie? It was so unnecessary. Most of the stuff is unnecessary nonsense, and I never laughed once. This movie is just so lazy, so stupid. Also, it just treats women like shit. No wonder Native Americans walked off set. Now no matter the cultural advisor for Native Americans walked off set. This movie is stupid. The people... One person was saying it's satire. Guys, this isn't satire. The Atlantic criticized, wrote a piece of criticism of Adam Sandler, saying that his films lack the intellectual infrastructure that satire requires. And I agree with this. This film has no sense of satire. It's basically, oh, let's just make fun of people because that's satire. Oh, God. That Vanilla Ice playing Mark Twain, supposedly making fun of this guy, it ain't clever. It's stupid. He basically just talks 90s slang or maybe just overall slang. And he says like a line that says, boom, I just threw some satire on you, biatches, or something like that. I don't really remember the line, but from what the Smackhead said, it wasn't anything satirical, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. If it was satirical, I'd probably just be like, oh yay, satire. Though I immediately would go back to hating the movie again. It's just not worth it, people. The more I talked about this movie, the more and more I hated it. Originally I said I thought it looked fine. It actually looked kind of nice. I guess it kind of has the feel of a Western, but overall it just feels a little bit cheap, I guess. The action scenes are not really action scenes, it's more just like slapstick. There's no shootout, which could have been fun, or maybe at least enjoyable in some way. The humor is terrible, it's disgusting. The explosive diarrhea donkey, that was so gross. When especially he shat on a person, that was, I think, the worst one. That made me gross. That scene with the doctor, the guy just rubbing ointment and everything, rubbing it on the grunting guy's balls, then inside donkey's ass, and then putting it in his mouth, and he just tasted it. Oh God, I actually gagged there. I actually wanted to throw up there, and I want to throw up now. Also, putting it on Rob Schneider's beard, and of course on his lips. Oh God, so disgusting. Also that scene where Steve Zahn tries to scoop his eye out. Oh my God, that was so cringe-inducing too. Didn't make me gag. No, it just made me feel sick. Also those scenes where the Left Eye Gang, I think that's what they're called, comment below. They were like, heads buried in the ground. There was obvious CGI animals. The CGI snake, I think, was the worst one. The ants, they're obviously CGI, but those are the easiest thing you can animate because, number one, they're so fucking small. But to be honest, this really did not make me laugh. It's just stuff they throw on there and think it's funny, when in fact, there's nothing there. There's no context supporting it, and there's nothing that really feels earned. It's basically a forced joke. Also, there's an obvious reference to Home Alone. Ugh, there's so many of Adam Sandler's friends here. So many talented people have done so much better. They could be doing better. Why are they doing this? This movie is absolutely garbage. It's just not funny. It's a shit movie. No, I didn't see Pixels. Those are all the bad movies I saw in 2015 on my list. I would put Pixels because I knew I hate it. Fuck. Rob Schneider's a stereotypical Mexican. The women are treated like shit. This movie's just not funny, and it's also not satirical of what Netflix said it was trying to be, and what one classmate in my English class said it was. Nope, not satire, bitch. It's actually a piece of shit. It's a film that throws in that has a lot of goofy comedy that supposedly says it's satire, when in fact it's not even close. It doesn't even scratch the surface of being satire. It's just bullshit. Fucking bullshit. I can't stress this enough. Sandler has just gotta stop. Maybe even the fact that he's putting it on Netflix doesn't mean I have to watch his shit. Although, I'm not paying for it. So I can watch it and not feel guilty that I paid for it, then I'll hate myself for watching it. Ugh. Stop making movies, Sandler. We don't like your movies anymore. If you're cool, I heard you're great as a person. I'd like to meet you in person, just have a normal conversation with you. But as an actor, if I ever discuss your film career, I'm probably just going to go out and bash you, calling you a moron. Calling you a moron, a guy who is not funny anymore, and also a guy who just needs to get rid of just needs to stop making fucking movies. I mean this literally. I'm so pissed off, people. This really pissed me off. You think I try to be calm, but all I am is I'm just getting more and more angry. I'm just dragging this shit out as I go along. Chandler, just please stop making movies. Please. We're better off without you. Either adapt your humor or just stop, please. We don't like you anymore. We're sorry. I'm being honest with you. No one really likes you. And maybe this will be an understanding you. 4 films, and we have 3 more to go. Hopefully you'll become irrelevant. Sorry, I don't care if I'm being awful. I don't care about this guy. Most movies I've seen from him are pure crap. This is one of them. I can't stress this enough. Just stop making movies, Sandler. We don't care about you anymore. You are irrelevant. You have not adapted with modern times, and we are done. Come back or stop. Your choice. Wow, I thought I couldn't believe how pissed off I got there. Maybe Polar Knockoff 2 would have pissed me off. Then Ridiculous 6 pissed me off. Fucking great. Anyways, those are my worst of 2015. Comment below. What did you think? What is your worst of 2015? Do you have a top 10 list or a list in general? Which one did you hate the most? Do you think Adam Sandler should stop making movies? Or just come back? Put it all in the comment section below. If I offend anyone with any of my jokes, I apologize. It's just meant to be for comedy. Or this is my opinion. Thanks for watching, guys, and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Side note, if any of you want a better comedy with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, check out the other guys. It's better, it's actually a good comedy, and also a lot funnier. Seriously, it is. Sorry. Seriously, just check that one out. That actually is worth your time. It's actually also funny. Now I'm done.